Welcome, my son. Tell me your sins.
It's been a long time.
It's okay. Speak.
Since I've been here. I don't even know where to start.
Just let it
So
all out.
much. It's a lot of shit. I mean, excuse me, Father. It's a lot of stuff. Guess I'll just start at the beginning.
Now with the advent of the digital camera, the little digital cameras you can buy, people are taking pictures with these things, you know, 10 megapixels, 2 megapixels, 1 megapixel, and they're on vacation and they take a photograph, and they're taking photographs of hillsides, of, you know, in Hawaii, in the Canary Islands, in Spain, and they're taking pictures, and when they get home and they download their photographs, there's UFOs, clear UFOs in the shots that they didn't see at the time of the photography, which would have to mean that these UFOs are invisible to the human eye, but they're actually there. They're not optical illusions, they're really there because the camera can see into the invisible, can actually see these UFOs. Now, there are numerous cases, even recently. This amazing photograph taken by Robert de Siena, a former military officer in Brazil. He did not see this at the time of photography. He was just taking pictures, and he erased most of them. And you're looking at one of the most stunning photographs of a UFO I've ever seen. I mean, as we zoom in on this thing, we can clearly see it's metallic, it's disc shape, the sun is actually shining off of it, but he didn't see it when he took the picture. And the reason that is because, for example, the human brain pulses between 24 and 30 waves per second. It's like a camera. It's taking 24 and 30 pictures per second. If you run your hand in front of your face like this, you can actually see your hand leaves a little bit of a strobe trail, and it's not instantaneous. That's because the brain is taking pictures depending on the frequency of the brain, and that's why it doesn't see all of the information. In between the 24 or 30 frames or waves per second that the brain is pulsing, there's information. And if your brain could strobe in a much higher frequency fashion, you could capture the information in between those pulses. These UFOs are pulsing. Trevor James Constable's first book was called The Cosmic Pulse of Light because they found that the UFOs have a pulse. They're vibrating at very high frequency wavelengths, which means the human brain isn't fast enough to capture them.
Given to it, and the name by which it was known in naval circles.
Trevor James Constable, a New Zealand naval radar operator in World War II, was the pioneer of invisible photography. In the 1950s in California, Trevor took these amazing photographs of UFOs over Landers, Giant Rock, California, where George Van Tassel was channeling extraterrestrials. The photos are so stunning to me because they show translucent discs of light, UFOs with dark holes in the center, identical to the NASA STS-75 UFOs from the space shuttle in 1996, in February 1996. So we have the same UFOs confirmed from two different sources over 40 years apart. So if you look at very closely what's going on, NASA is saying that these are pieces of debris floating right in front of the camera lens, and as they get in front of the lens you get these fuzzy orbs of light called airy discs around them and giving the illusion they're UFOs. But if they were really that close to the camera, as NASA contends, how would they survive a long zoom? I did a very simple test with a digital camera, just like they're using. You hold a dime, which is bigger than any piece of dust you could find, and you hold it even a couple of inches or 6 inches in front of the camera. When you zoom in, you can't even see the dime. It disappears completely. And NASA's cameras zoom all the way in on the tether, which is 77 to 100 miles away from the camera, and the objects are still there. There's no way these are pieces of debris that are near the camera lens. There's no way, which confirms that they're actually as large as we say they are. They're passing behind the tether. The tether is 12 miles long. The UFOs are 2 to 3 miles wide in diameter, 1 to 3 miles in diameter if they're right behind the tether. If they're further behind the tether than we think, they are much larger than that. And second, I confirmed with Dr. Joseph Newth III at NASA that NASA's video cameras can see into the near ultraviolet and the far ultraviolet, which is 2 bandwidths of ultraviolet, into the invisible spectrum where human eyes don't see.